Hello everyone, this is an online section of CTEC102 Python class, and this is a 13-week course, and it's a little bit shorter than the regular semester, but we are going to cover the same amount of material. My name is Vladimir Chaynikov. I have a PhD in math, and I'm teaching mostly CTEC, but also calculus at BIPSI. I am on campus, and this is my office hours. I teach mostly in-person classes. This is my only online class this semester, as far as I know right now. And you can always drop by, come to my office hours and talk to me, or we can meet on the MS Teams, and I will create a link as soon as the first person requests a meeting in the modules. Our dean is Paul Spivey, and you can find his information when you click on this link. There is a syllabus, and this is a link to modules. I taught this class before, so you can enjoy my videos from this summer or even before that. I don't think I hid any of them. By all means, feel free to check it out, and I'll be making some new videos, and I will also reuse some of the old videos. There is one more link that you may find very useful, that is in-class programs. So I'm teaching the same material in person, so you might want to see how it's going, and as I will be updating new programs that we did in class, you may see some connections and it may help you with your homework, or it can simply help you to review the code. So typically I have several versions of one program, and it's better to start one by one and look at it as they develop. Sometimes I forget to put something, or sometimes I forget to put a solution. So if you see some abnormality about this chapter, about the upcoming chapters, so feel free to just let me know. And in fact, if you bug me, I will be much better about actually putting things online. My in-person classes so far are ahead of you. We had, 2 weeks of instruction. Oh, we are running up to the 3rd week of instruction in the regular class. Okay. This is a very useful link for you. Course dates and other important information is here, such as dates to drop if you feel the need to do that. And in any case, let me say a few words about the syllabus, and we will be talking about Python and how to do Python here. Now, this is the kind of assignments that you will see. Research paper is a standalone assignment, don't get scared. The purpose of this paper is for you to go out, look at some articles about software development jobs, about the tools or languages that I used, for example, in game development, or whatever you choose to describe, and write a little paper. So the main point is for us to see that you have looked at some relevant IT jobs, and you know what they are about, and you know what kind of tools they use, or how somebody recommends learning, for example, programming. Okay, there is programming assignments. That will be a bit of your grade. There is also discussions. I warn you, I cannot say this enough, do not scoff at discussions that are worth 5 points or something like that. This is actually very worth completing. If they are worth points, take those points. Sometimes the total number of points in discussion is not that large, which makes every point even more important. And I will talk about what is a good discussion post as opposite to just a discussion post that doesn't convey any information. Okay, there will be quizzes, weekly quizzes, and during your quizzes, you are free to look up the code, to look up anything you need. You're also free to retake these quizzes as many times as you need. Basically, these quizzes are for you to be able to review code, to challenge yourself, to see what you don't know, and correct that. There is a course project. I will unveil it towards the middle of the semester. And that is generally a bit more challenging than the regular programming assignments. So don't postpone it till the last moment, and keep an eye on it. This is a major challenge for people who are in programming for the first time. As we go on, and as it comes to the end of the semester, I will be showing some examples of how to start those projects or what needs to be in them. I will not do the full project for you, so you will definitely need to spend some time planning and designing a program and designing something that is, say, 70, 90 lines long and implementing it. So as we learn more tools, definitely I will be saying this and that is very good for your project, or something along those lines. Midterm and final are not a large portion of your grade. They will be online on Canvas, and you will take them when they are available, in the middle of the semester and in the end of the semester. As for important things, please do look at the course section syllabus. There is first you need to know the book, what our book is. I recommend that you get the book. The book is really nice, very introductory level book, and it spends some time talking about code and developing programs, and you can follow along and see how things are done. So I definitely recommend having this book, whether an online version or a paperback version. It does not have to be new. We're not going to use any access codes that come with this book, so feel free to get a used book. This is very tentative dates, so probably the earlier dates are kind of set for you, but don't worry about the rest of them. You will probably not be able to see them for a while from the student view. Okay, there will be some announcements as we go on, and keep track of the announcements, keep track of your grades, keep track of what's going on in modules. So in modules, I did not make some of this available, but most of it should be available. And this is general BIPSI stuff. This is some information about me and navigation of the course. And for now, week 1, this is what we are going to do. There is an overview, there is a lecture, and I'm not going to really grade netiquette discussion and class introductions. If you have been in any online class at BIPSI, you have had already netiquette discussion, and I'd like you to post on class introductions even though there is no grade for it. Now, Chapter 2 discussion. You can open it and you can see what kind of expectations we have. And here is a place where you can ask questions about Chapter 2, and with any luck, your colleagues will respond, or I will respond if they don't cover it completely, for example. And what is important about discussions is to understand that while it's sometimes nice to show some positive emotion and excitement about them, about what's going on in, say, Chapter 2, the purpose is to share actual information that has to do with problem solving or with coding. So pick something from Chapter 2. You can talk about, for example, input statements or conversion between different types, data types, and that's what the Chapter 2 is about in part. And you can discuss some code, actually quote some code that maybe you ran or you saw in the book and you were curious about, and say something about it. Something that, for example, comment on the code or ask a question about the code. So I want you to demonstrate that you were following the lectures or reading the book, or you were thinking about some unclear parts of the code that you have seen somewhere within the scope of this chapter or within the scope of my lectures. And you can ask questions about the homework. Please do not post or distribute or share ready solutions with your colleagues and with anyone for that matter. And if you say misinterpret the material when you describe it or when you talk about it, I will not take off points. But if you just say like a list of things this chapter is about, like chapter 2 is about input, print, and other cool stuff, and you just list things without getting into any sort of discussion about any of them. You don't have to cover all of them, of course, because chapters are not very short and they do cover some extensive information and extensive programming tools. Okay, so this is about the discussion, and this discussion specifically will be also used to report show, no show. So definitely do start discussing early, and as you do, I will report you as show, and if you don't, I will report you as no show. All right, what else is here? You will have weekly or almost weekly homeworks. This is where you will need to, I did not actually, oh, here it is. I did make it due. So this is a homework, and you cannot see week 2 yet, but I want you to see the structure. So I'm going to adjust maybe due dates, and yeah, let's look here. I might adjust the due dates, but this is where there is a description of a story problem, and it may look very intimidating to you right now, or not, depending on your prior experience. And I promise you that chapter 3 will cover all the necessary tools here, and the problem description itself is actually giving you some hints as to how to do that. And feel free to post your questions or comments in the discussion. If you start working on it in advance, you can help your colleagues, and if you have some sort of question, other people may have the same sort of question or a similar sort of question. Okay, one more thing, a standalone programming jobs paper. As I was saying, in another place it's called a research paper. Probably programming jobs paper is a better name. So you go out there online, or even maybe talk to your older colleagues and find out what programming is about. Read the problem description or the assignment description. This is important in every assignment. Just read what they ask you to do, what we ask you to do, actually. And try to conform with as many requirements as possible. If requirements are unclear, send me a message. The general rule, how to send me a message, go to inbox. The general rule about comments versus messaging. If you are leaving a comment somewhere, I may see it after a while when I'm grading comments, whether it is a comment on your homework or a comment on your in chapter 3 discussion. Sometimes I look at them just after you posted them, sometimes I don't. So discussion is not as fast of a way to communicate with me as inbox would be. So that is important. Especially if you make a comment on your submission. If you have a submission, I'm assuming you are okay with it. So don't make a submission and then comment, I have no clue how to do this, because I will see it probably a week later when I'm grading your work, and not sooner. If you want to contact me, use inbox. Or show up in person, that also works if you come to the office hours, that's actually great. Or make a Teams appointment. Now, what is this class about? Let's go back to the class. Notice that the class is about problem solving and programming techniques. So Python is not even mentioned in the name of the class. That is because this class is intended for you to learn something about problem solving. How to problem solve, how to first of all read and understand the problem, how to break it in smaller problems. And the tool that you will be using is Python indeed, but Python is here to represent any regular programming language on the very basic level. You learned a little bit of it, and now you're asked to solve a problem using it. And so try to think beyond the Python. At some point, everyone gets busy with Python syntax, what kind of function to use, where parentheses go, where quotation marks go, and all that stuff. Whether it actually does what you want it to do, we will definitely talk about it. But don't forget that what you learn in this class applies to most of the programming languages. And the style of thinking that you might want to pick up is definitely about problem solving, and problem solving with a programming language. It's not really about Python, and it's not really about putting parentheses in the right places, although it may at times look like a major hurdle in the beginning. Okay. And that's, I think, pretty much everything I was going to tell you. Feel free to start and enjoy the lecture. So you can click here to see all the old lectures that I had, and also lectures for Java that some of them I'm posting on YouTube, some of them are inside the course shelf for the corresponding course. So the Java lectures would be a bit episodical. I think for lectures for other classes that I taught previously may be hidden at this point. In any case, there should be plenty of Python lectures, and Python lectures for this class will definitely be there. I will post new videos here, and I will post the entire weeks of lectures ready for you. I will make a link in week 1 lecture, so there will be a link for the lectures currently, like intro and installation videos. Alright, let me know if you have any questions, and enjoy the class.